Hello there, Liverpool fans. Back with another video. This is Ahmet again. I'm here to talk about the Southampton game. Tomorrow, the Premier League game. We'll be playing at the St Mary's Stadium against the Saints, and yeah, it's another game in the league. The league title is virtually won now anyway. Manchester City have wrapped it up, so it's all about trying to get into the top three or the top two of the league. We want to qualify automatically for the Champions League. We don't want to leave it to chance again, like we did last season. Finishing fourth is good, but if you finish in the top three, the top two, that's much better because you don't have to worry about the playoff match. In the summer at the beginning of August. So always, automatic qualification is always my preferred route into the Champions League. And we've got a Champions League match coming up anyway on Wednesday against Porto. Very important game. If we can get through that game, get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, it'll be a good achievement. Very good achievement for Liverpool, especially with some deficiencies that we've got in the team. But going forward, I mean, as I said before in my previous videos, going forwards, we can defeat any team in Europe, on our day. If we're firing on all cylinders, we can beat the best, and I still stand by that. I wouldn't put it past Liverpool actually getting to the final and playing in the final of the Champions League. So you never know with Liverpool what you're going to get. We're that kind of team. We are more consistent now than we were a few years ago, a couple of years ago, but still. Then again, we tend to give leads away and concede silly goals again in defence. So, and we somehow we just haven't been able to eradicate these mistakes and problems that we have in defence. So we'll have to wait and see. I just wanted to make this video quickly before the North London derby. I'm actually just looking at the time now. It's 12:05, so I've got about 25 minutes to go before the match. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Southampton game and also the Thomas Lemar issue, where we've come out and said that we're not interested anymore in buying Lemar. We've ended our interest in the player. So it's all games again from FSG. I mean, what they're up to, I don't know what they're trying to do at Liverpool. I really don't. I mean, if you're going to buy someone, just put in the money and buy the player. If you're not going to buy that player, then move on to the next one, move on to the next target. But with these Yankees, they keep playing games. I mean, I don't understand what they're doing at Liverpool, honestly. If you've got the money, don't tell us you haven't got the money. Now they're coming out and saying that they're going to increase the capacity again of the stadium. So they're playing mind games again, I think. And hopefully they don't go into the summer transfer window again and start saying that they don't have any money to invest in a team. Because if that's the case, then they need to be kicked out of Liverpool now. This is the end for FSG. I'm sorry, but it's bad enough that we're not winning trophies. We're doing decently in the league, but we're not winning anything, are we? We haven't won anything in the past 3 seasons that Klopp's been here. So I want to see Liverpool competing now for trophies. This is going to be his 4th year next season. His 4th season in charge of Liverpool Football Club. And now he has to have built the team capable of actually, pushing on in all the competitions, whether it be the league, the Premier League, the Champions League, FA Cup and League Cup. So we want to see Liverpool winning at least 1 trophy next season. If not this season, we've only got the Champions League to go for. But as I said before, never write Liverpool off, Never write Liverpool off, because we done it in 2005 and it wouldn't surprise me, It wouldn't surprise me if we got to another final again and ended up winning the Champions League, the European Cup. So you never know with Liverpool, but it's all about investment in the team. If City can do it and United can do it, then why can't Liverpool do it? And Chelsea, these people have money. These Americans, Fenway Sports Group, they have the money, but they're not willing to pay money for players for some reason. They think that they're going to buy young, talented, unproven players and put them into the team, and then within a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, they think that the players are going to be, developed so good, so well that they can sell him for a higher price to another team, a bigger team. well, not a bigger team, but a rich team or whatever it is. Whoever puts in the largest bid for the player. And football doesn't work like that. You need to keep hold of your best players if you want to move forwards. If you want to keep winning cups successfully, you know, every season, then you need to keep hold of your best players. If not, then you don't win anything, and you keep going around in the circle again. The development circle, the rebuilding circle that we've been going through for the past 20 years, 25 years since the Premier League's come into, its fruition. We've just been developing and rebuilding every season. And what have we really rebuilt? We haven't rebuilt anything. We haven't achieved anything really. We've won the European Cup. That was a great achievement in 2005. That's a one-off, though, isn't it? We have to admit that was a one-off. I mean, we haven't done it again. So that was an outstanding season for us in the Champions League. And to top it off, we came back from 3-0 down against AC Milan. The mighty AC Milan in the European Cup final, and we beat them on penalties. So yeah, I don't see anything like that happening again anytime soon in the world of football. And yeah, in the league, we haven't achieved anything. I mean, we've finished second, I think, 2 or 3 times. I saw a statistic the other day. I think we've finished second 3 times in the Premier League era. Simply not good enough. And third a few times. Fourth, I think, 5 or 6 times. And then the rest of the league finishes have been below fourth. We've finished fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth the majority of the seasons. We haven't finished below eighth, but come on, this is Liverpool. We shouldn't be finishing below eighth anyway. With the kind of team we are, the history that we've had, you cannot finish below eighth. You can't even finish below sixth, let alone eighth. And yeah, they've gotten us used to mediocrity. Mediocrity in a way, because Liverpool standards always used to be going into the season to win the league title, the league championship, and now we're just accepting fourth, third or fourth, and simply it's not good enough. I'm sorry, but any deluded fans that come out and say that this is progress and we're happy with what's happening, then you don't understand the game of football, in my eyes, because if you've seen what Liverpool have done in the past, up until the 90s, the success that they had, whether it be in the English League or in the the European Cup, then this is Liverpool have really fallen down from where they were. We've really gone backwards, badly backwards, and we need to change that mindset now. We need to change that philosophy, that mentality, and we need to start moving up the table again. Start getting Liverpool back to where they belong, which is challenging for the major honours every year, the league championship, playing regularly in European football. I don't want to be playing in the Europa League, but the Champions League, we should be getting there now every season. From now on, we need to build a team capable of playing 5 or 10 seasons in a row in the Champions League, and then the players that you attract, the kind of football that you play, will definitely move on. The standard of the football will move on, and we'll become a better team as a consequence of this. So forget all this rubbish about. I see articles now in some Liverpool websites and some podcasts saying that the reality is that we need to accept that City are better than us. What are you talking about? City are better than us. City were nowhere to be seen, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And because of the investment, the money that has been put into the club, they're now successful. But they never used to be successful, Manchester City. This has happened over a 10-year period, a 15-year period, where they were, I think in 2000, was it? Or 1995 or something like that. In those years anyway, 97, 98. They were in the playoffs to get into the bloody championship, Manchester City. Can you believe that? They were in the playoffs to come up from the second division into the championship, and then from the championship to get into the Premier League. Can you believe this? And now they're regularly winning Premier League titles, Manchester City. This is what investment does for you. This is what building the club from the bottom up does to the whole club. The whole foundation of the club, and the expectations of the Manchester City fans has gone up so much now that they want to win it every year. They want to be league champions every year now. When, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were nowhere to be seen. Manchester City. United were the dominant force, Even that pains me to say, Manchester United, but we have to speak the truth, They were the best team in the country for nigh on, 10 to 15 years in the Ferguson era. As we were in the 80s and the 70s, that they dominated the 90s and the early 2000s as well. So, yeah, I mean, it just disappoints me so much to see that FSG are tricking the fans again. They're coming out with garbage articles in their media puppets. The articles that they write. For instance, the Anfield HQ and the Anfield Rap and the Redmen TV, who sometimes they do speak at baloney really. Some of the topics that they talk about and the analysis that they have on certain things is really a pile of shite in my mind, because they don't speak the truth. Just come out and speak the truth, man. Tell the fans what's going on. Don't keep tricking us every season. If FSG do something good, then we all praise them as a Liverpool fan base. Everyone praises them, but they're not doing anything good, are they? They're taking us backwards, man. Can you not see? There's only so much that Jurgen Klopp can do, and even Klopp, some of his tactics are dodgy, to say the least. Some of his in-game management and his approaches to the games are not good enough, in my opinion. Sometimes he tends to play players, the wrong players in wrong games, or he makes the substitutions too late. This happened many times last season, and it ended up costing us a lot of points. And he was too stubborn. He didn't change his formation, his tactics for certain games, and we ended up losing a lot of points. We could have finished higher up the league, definitely in the top two, the top three, but we ended up dropping down to fourth. And even that we only got on the final day, the Middlesbrough game. If we hadn't have won that, then God knows what would have happened. We would have been out of Europe altogether. We would have been out of the Champions League, playing in the bloody Europa League again. So it's a unit thing, Everyone needs to play their part. The owners, the staff, Jurgen Klopp, the manager, and the team have to do their bit on the pitch as well. When you come into the team, you're picked for a league match or a European match. You need to give 100%. Don't hold back. Just do your best, play your best football, and get into the eyes of Jurgen Klopp. Get into the team. So it's either that the players are not good enough, or they're picking and choosing games again. So we wait and see. But I want Liverpool now from now until the end of the season to really put in good effort and get as high up as possible in the league and try and progress further in the Champions League. If we can get past Porto, then it's anyone's game after that. It's anyone's trophy. There's a lot of big teams left in the competition, the Champions League, but we're one of those big teams. Liverpool have always been one of the elite teams in Europe, since the 60s, since the first years of the European Cup. So we need to make sure now that we push on and we beat Southampton tomorrow. I'm expecting a victory tomorrow, but this is Liverpool, We've gotten used to it now. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know what team he's going to pick, Klopp. From match to match, he has these, I don't know what he does. He has these brainstormers, and he just changes the players for some reason. He changes the tactics of the team, and we end up losing the rhythm. We need to put a consistent run together now. There's no point in changing the goalkeepers anymore, Jurgen. Just keep Karius in goal. Give the man a chance. He played well against Tottenham. I don't even want to speak about the Tottenham game. Don't get me started on that. That was a complete and utter farce from the referees. And I don't want to see that kind of, those kind of decisions again in the Premier League. This man, the referee, John Moss, should have been taken away from Premier League games. He's not fit to referee in this league. A man that doesn't know whether a player was actually brought down or was tripped. That man cannot be a referee in my eyes. And he goes and talks to the linesman, and he still gives the bloody penalty. And he says that he says that he didn't even see what happened. So if you're not sure, why are you giving the penalty then? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, and clearly you can see on the replays, the video replays, that Carrick didn't even touch Harry Kane. So I don't understand how the other linesman on the other side of the pitch didn't see it and tell him. You know, it's all a conspiracy, of course. I don't want to speak badly about referees, but in my opinion, they are. You know, they're making decisions against Liverpool because every time I see Liverpool in a big match, you know, there's always some kind of controversy with these referees. You know, and it just beggars belief that we always get these shite referees in the big games. Why don't we get the top referees in who actually know what they're doing on the pitch, who can actually tell the difference between a dive and the penalty? You know, these people are paid for this job. These referees, they're supposed to be professional referees, and they still don't. They can't tell the difference between a dive and the proper contact in the area. And some idiots are coming out and saying the Virgil van Dijk one as well. How did Virgil van Dijk know that Eric Lamela was there? You know, if that was your player, you wouldn't be. You'd be complaining till the bloody cows come home. If that was Man United or Man City, City are still bloody complaining, and they're top of the bloody league about the referees and their players are not being protected and this and that. You know, so I don't understand why you get upset when Liverpool complain. Liverpool have every right to complain. The football club. That was not a penalty, man. You cannot give a penalty in the 94th minute for contact in the area that was not even intentional. He didn't even see where Lamela was, Van Dijk. And they're saying that he should have been aware. What's he supposed to do? He hasn't got fucking 10 eyes on his head, has he? He can't see what's going on behind him or on the sides. He was concentrating on the ball, Van Dijk. And then the cunning little bastards, Lamela, put his body in the way. And so Van Dijk, instead of kicking the ball away, got a bit of Lamela's, you know, thigh, basically. The referee didn't even give the penalty. It was a bloody linesman, the idiot. You know, I don't understand what his problem is. After that, he was celebrating. He's going like this. He's giving it a thumbs up. What's that all about, man? What, have you been paid off or something? Is this some kind of a match fixing scandal or something? It seems like that to me because they all had bad intentions towards Liverpool. The referee and the linesman, they all had bad intentions from the first minute until the last minute. You know, the free kick decisions, the 50-50 challenges, they were all going towards Tottenham. Tottenham were winning everything, you know. So I don't understand why they're trying to pull Liverpool down. Is it a mentality thing? You know, they've been crushed so badly by Liverpool's success over the previous, 30, 40 years. We've won every trophy going and every European Cup and everything. They can't handle it, the jealousy, the downright, attitude of them to try and pull Liverpool down, to try and stop us from winning games, becoming successful again. This is football, man. This is 90 minutes of action. Whoever deserves to win over the 90 minutes should win the game. It's not about, you played well, so we help you get a draw or we help you get a win. There's no point in playing football. If you're going to stick up for certain teams, then we just give the trophy to Manchester City at the beginning of the season and let them walk away with it, because there's no point in playing anymore, If you're going to stick up for these, these divers and these cheats in the game, and you're gonna be fooled by them and give penalties, then it's all over. I mean, what's the point in playing anymore in the Premier League? What is the point in having a league anymore? You need to be consistent with your decisions. You need to review the decisions and make a proper decision. Make a proper analysis of it. You've gone and talked to the linesman about the penalty incident, and he says to the linesman, you can clearly hear his voice, Moss, that he's not sure whether there was any contact. So if that's the case, then why have you given the penalty then? Have you not got half a brain or something? What's going on? It's all rubbish, man. It's the FA, the bloody FA. They're doing it on purpose. If it was Manchester United, they'd be complaining throughout the week. They'd get that thing overturned. They'd have that match replayed again. But with us, we just seem to accept it, And Jurgen Klopp didn't want to speak after the match because he said he didn't want to say anything terrible. And then, he gets a fine for it. He gets banned from the touchline or something. And I'm the same. I don't want him to, miss games because of the incidents in the game, the bad decisions. We need him there on the touchline, but he's got another problem as well, Jurgen Klopp. You take the lead in the 92nd minute, you need to keep calm. You need to tell the players to keep calm and just keep the ball. Clear it. Don't mess around with the ball in the area, in your own half of the pitch. Just kick it as long as possible, wherever it goes, into the opposition part of the pitch. Why are we kicking the ball out and giving Tottenham a throw-in the final seconds? This is typical Liverpool, man. We do it every time. And then what happens? We end up conceding. Whether the referee gives a penalty or not, you need to have the brains. You need to have the knowledge that you're not supposed to play around with the ball in the final seconds of the game, final minutes. Just clear it as far as possible. Just do whatever you need. Get your body in front of the ball. Clear it as far as possible. Make a foul if needed away from your area, your part of the pitch. Just stop the opposition at all costs. But what do? We allow them to pass it around. We allow them to get into our area again. And, we get the penalty decision against us. It's just comical. It really is. It's bloody comical. And it's typical of Liverpool over these seasons. We keep doing the same thing. We did it last season, and now we're doing it this season. And this is why we've ended up drawing 9 games. Out of the 26 games, we've ended up getting 9 draws, which is nearly half the games we've played, because we just can't see out a victory. We can't control the game, manage the game, and just win it, get the 3 points. Every time we take the lead, we're frightened. Are we going to concede again? Even when we're 3 goals up, we can't hold on to it, as was evident in the Sevilla game. So, yeah. Or in the Manchester City game, we were 4-1 up. It ended up 4-3. If it had gone on another 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, it would have been 4-4. This is what Liverpool are like now. They can't handle the pressure. The defenders can't handle the pressure. The goalkeepers. I'm not saying that the entire team, but we need to be able to do this now as a big team. Otherwise, we're not going to win anything. We're just going to be languishing in the 3rd, 4th place again next season, or even below, because if these idiots, the FSG, if they don't spend any money in the summer, and now they're starting to come out with, we want to increase the capacity of the Annie Road, stand area of Anfield, the stadium. So they're gonna invest millions into that now. Apparently, that's what we're hearing on the newspapers. So what's going to happen with the transfers then? You're not going to buy anyone again, and you expect Liverpool to go forward, do you? What happens if Salah, if they come in for Salah in the summer, Real Madrid? What are we going to do? These idiots are probably going to sell him, because all they care about is the bloody money. They don't care about Liverpool being successful, man. And there's still some deluded idiots out there in the fan base who stick up for them. You need to wake up, man. Wake up and see what's happening at Liverpool. These are not proper owners, FSG. They haven't been proper owners for the past 7-8 years. They keep getting rid of the best players. They got rid of Torres. They got rid of Suarez, Sterling, Coutinho. And now we have a world-class player in Mohamed Salah, our best player in years, in my opinion. The start that he's made at Liverpool is just phenomenal. No other player has done this thing, for God knows how many years at Liverpool. I don't think there's ever been a player that's had this magnificent start to his life at Liverpool. I don't think there has ever been this kind of player, And we need to keep hold of him now at least for the next 2 or 3 years to build on. These are the type of players that you build a team around. You build a successful team around quality, world-class players. And we don't know what's going to happen. God knows. We're just praying that they don't sell him, FSG. Because if Real Madrid come in with a massive bid, God forbid, then they're going to sell him, Don't even think that they're going to reject it. If they don't tie him down to a proper contract now, before the end of the season, and Salah starts to get thoughts about, I want to play in the best team in the world, or one of the biggest teams in the world, and his agent's going to be in the back of his ear every time, telling him, go to Real Madrid, then we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, So we need to tie him down to a long-term contract, Salah. And if he's serious about staying at Liverpool Football Club, then he will stay. But that's the thing with foreign players, as I said before in one of my previous videos. Foreign players are only in it for the money, in my opinion, and they don't have any ties to the club, to Liverpool Football Club. It's not like your Gerrards and your Carragers when they wouldn't even talk about money. Their only ambition was to play for this club, to be successful with this club, Liverpool Football Club, because they were from the city. You know, they want to do well for their hometowns, for their home city. You know, the city that they were born and raised in. But the other players that come in from abroad, you know, they use Liverpool as a platform now to move to, and then to do well, and then to move to an even bigger team in another league. So hopefully I'm wrong, and Salah stays at Liverpool, because we really rely on him now. We need him as a striker at Liverpool. You know, a winger cross striker. But he scores so many goals, we need to call him a striker now. He's not even a winger in my opinion. He's an out and out striker. You know, he's so deadly going forwards. He's our top goal scorer. So yeah. And the game tomorrow, you know, I'm not too worried about Southampton. They're not the force that they were, you know, a couple of seasons ago or last season. But we need to take it seriously from the first minute of the game and make sure that we attack Southampton. They have deficiencies, you know. They're not doing well in the league this year. They're only 2 points above the relegation zone. This is a team that Liverpool have to beat, you know. There's no excuses now. You go there and you win. And then we get the confidence from that game to take into the away first leg match against Porto in the Champions League. That's all there is to it, Liverpool fans. You know, I don't want to hear any excuses now. We need to win the game, and hopefully we will do. You know, if Klopp actually plays the team, the players that are in form, then we will win it. But I'm always scared with Klopp that he doesn't change the team too much. You know, and destabilise the way we play. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow, mate. And it's on to the London derby now. Anyway, I want to see what's going to happen. And I'll have to leave the video here. Thank you for watching, Liverpool fans. Please like and subscribe to the video. Make your comments in the comment section below. And tell me your thoughts on tomorrow's game and the Porto game, you know. And what we're going to do in the summer, you know, the transfers, the likely transfer targets that we may have and we may bid for. But with these owners in charge, we can't, there's nothing guaranteed, you know. We don't know who we're going to buy or who we're going to sell. So it's just a roller coaster ride, really, with these FSG, you know, the owners. So hopefully good things will happen to Liverpool, and we'll start moving up the table, you know, start challenging for the title, start playing consistently in the Champions League, and become one of the bigger teams in the world again, in Europe. Anyway, Liverpool fans, I need to go now because the game is about to start. Hopefully it ends up in a draw, you know, that's the ideal result for us, Arsenal-Tottenham. If it ends up in a draw, happy days to Liverpool, you know, and then tomorrow we can just go into the game, play our football against Southampton and beat them, and then we move on to the Champions League game midweek, and hopefully we can get a decent result in Portugal and bring them back to Anfield and progress to the quarter-finals. So anyway, Liverpool fans, I'll talk to you later and hope for 3 points tomorrow, and that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching and take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend.